I'm going to talk about shoes today. I got these. They're the Specialized 2FO Roost, latest version of the Specialized flat pedal shoe. This isn't the Roost DH. This is the more free ridey trail. It's more or less identical to or application wise to the old 510 Freerider. So I got these in November. Had them for 6 months. I've worn them pretty much every ride except for a month ago. I swapped back out and I went back to, or probably a few weeks ago, I went back to riding on my Sam Hill Impact 510s. These are easily over a year old. Very, very durable. Excellent durability. These suckers, so much grip. These are a size 11. 10.5. Size 10.5. 44, which is my usual size. They are so tight to get on. They're real tight to get on. There's enough room lengthways for my feet, for toes, but it's quite a tight, snug fit. So I would recommend going one size up if you're going to get them. But overall, walking around in them, running around in them, staying in them long term, walking around all day in them, for instance, they're way more comfortable than walking around in a pair of 510s. The 510 Freeriders used to be quite good. They were comfortable to walk around in. The 510 Impact, not so much. A little bit, a podiatrist nightmare. A podiatrist wouldn't like these, but would be on board with these, I think. That's just my experience with my body and how it feels to me. But yeah, ergonomics, they're just killer to wear, wicked to wear. You can see that the surface grip is wearing down. I mean, that's 6 months. I'll probably get another 3 months out of them. You can see the gouges. There's quite a deep layer where my pins sit. The back pins mostly. So I'm like a mid to front foot rider, I guess. The back of the shoe's still brand new. In terms of protection, there's no protection. So your pinky sits just here. So your toes, I haven't had any impacts yet, thankfully, but your toes will just get smashed by rocks. And I think the lack of impacts I've had is probably from experience. So I've been riding for a long time and I've smashed my toes into so many things and slipped my feet on so many things. These, number one, your feet just don't slip. They're very, very grippy. They're more compliant than a 510. Probably the same as a Freerider. So it's real stiff from here back, but the front's got a real flexy point there. So it's almost like it's stiff from there to there, and it's stiff from there to there, but here it's got that flex point. So kind of twisty, not too bad. They feel like a good solid platform. They don't feel flexy on the pedals, but when you compare them to this, so 510, way more protection obviously in the Impact, way heavier, fair bit heavier. Not sure exact weight, you'd have to look that up. But when you're hovering on through rough rock garden stuff or chattery stuff, where you're kind of hovering on the pedals, trying to get grip but also not jamming down too hard on the pedals. These, being that they're so rigid, they're so stiff and rigid, they can almost vibrate out of place a little bit occasionally, only in certain circumstances. But these just feel like they're just they're my preferred feeling of grip and compliance on a pedal. These are my preferred feeling. But I'm all about protection as well. I want the safety and the protection of this sort of a construction. This is so much more durable. You can slam into, it's almost like having a steel cap. You can slam into things real hard, as long as your foot's not vertical and you're not slamming that bit. Any of that, it's just deflects. It's so much protection. Really, really good protection. Kind of heavy. A nice, casual, relaxed fit in the 510 Impact Sam Hill. I think maybe the Impact Sam Hill is more durable, or maybe it's just the newer Adidas version is more durable on the base, which makes it a little bit less compliant than the old I've got a set of standard impacts outside. Hiccups. Standard impacts outside as well, which always seemed a little more grippy than these Sam Hill impacts. So that's something to consider as well. But for $200, I'm pretty sure I paid $200 for these. They're incredible. Outside of the horribly tight fit, like getting into the shoe is what I'm talking about with fit. Once you're in the shoe, it kind of feels like it's more or less good. I don't have a super narrow foot, but I don't really have a super wide foot either. And it's more or less the perfect foot size for me, but I think in the future I'll size up. So my next move, I think my next shoe is going to be this again, but in the DH version. So Specialized just released the ROOST 2FO, I think it's the ROOST 2FO DH or something, but it's a more durable. I went into the shop and I had a look at it. That's going to cost me, I think they're $250 retail. I'll try and get a little bit cheaper because $250 for a pair of shoes is ridiculous, especially when they are made in China. We all know how cheap stuff is in China. Quality good, yes, but there's always huge markups on all of this stuff. So $250 is ludicrous. I'd be happy to pay $200 for sure for the performance, but $200 for 6 months worth of shoe. Most of you guys will probably, I'm hard on my shoes. Most of you guys will probably get 12 months out of a pair of these, no worries. But these will stay on. These I'll probably get another couple of years out of these. If I get the downhill version, these will be my dirt jump shoes. These will be my more casual cruising, going and watch races and whatever, all terrain shoes. So I'll keep them for that. But overall, 10 out of 10. Or 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for grip, 10 out of 10 for compliance, 9 out of 10. It loses points for the fit and the lack of protection, which, being a light shoe, I guess you sacrifice a little bit of that. But Specialized, that's a goal. That is an absolute home run, these shoes. So thanks for improving the shoe market and the options that we have. So we don't have to scout around across the globe trying to find a set of 510s. Adidas have just ruined 510 by the sounds of it. Quite hard to get here in Adelaide. Shops don't stock them. They're just making it so hard. Like, I don't know what. And they go, you got to get them online. Like, go straight to the Adidas shop. Like, no, you want all the money, but you're not willing to share any of your profit with any of the middlemen. That's a bit of a rant, I guess. But anyway, 510s have always been absolutely gangster. But these 2FOs, I like them. I think that's my preferred shoe from now on. So, yeah, make your own choice. But I spend my money on the things that make me most comfortable, and it's the 2FO shoe for sure.